All right, Barrett. We're moving on to the NFL. We saw what happened in week 1.
Great week. Great
We
week.
got a new B list featuring what? Two new teams. 2 teams dropped out, and 2 new teams have entered the B list. Let's see how this is looking. Barrett, give us the breakdown of the B list this week.
Again, this is a week by week list. This is not some crazy, I still think the Rams are the best or anything like that. Okay. They got trounced. They should not be a top 5 team. All right. So it was tough. I mean, listen, the Saints, Dolphins, I mean, these are some outlier teams, but I think overall, I think what the Vikings did is still more impressive. I mean, Saints kind of almost lost. They had to do a comeback, and Miami. I mean, they looked good, but they weren't. They don't. I just don't think they're a top 5 team currently. But the Vikings just absolutely decimating the Packers at home. What they needed to do, they didn't want that game close. They didn't want Aaron Rodgers to have a 2-minute drill to win the game. They just absolutely crushed them. And so I like the Vikings. I think I still picked Green Bay to win the division, but the Vikings are like the trendiest pick to upset the Packers in their division. PFF is trash, especially with that Mahomes thing, Billy. But look out for the Vikings. I think they'll go 2-0 and remain on the B list. Who do they got this week? Let's see here. Where's Minnesota at? Oh,
Minnesota has the Eagles.
Oh, they got the Eagles on Monday night. We're not to picks yet, but that's a little preview. I think Vikings win. Yeah. All right, so number 4, Chargers, man. Now, I think they looked better than the Buccaneers, but I still got to roll with Tampa Tom. But the Chargers just, dude, like Khalil Mack. I mean, freaking Bosa. Derwin James. That team is stacked. We're going to learn a lot tonight. If the Chargers take the next step, it has to be tonight versus the Chiefs, who obviously can see are number 1. But I like the Chargers. They're very talented. So they're number 4. 3, Tampa Tom, man. It wasn't pretty, but they did go into a hostile Jerry's world on national television. They've had some injuries. Godwin got injured. The center's injured. And they came in there and just pretty much handled. I mean, Dak didn't get injured until like later in the game, and still 3 points. Like that's still a stout defense.
Give me a break.
Sorry, Seth. But I mean, Tampa Tom. You can't bet against them until they take a couple L's here.
That team stinks.
Okay, so number 2. Okay, I had the Bills number 1. Not gonna lie.
How are the Bills not number 1?
But the Chiefs are better in my opinion. Okay, the Chiefs beat the Bills last year. Bills don't deserve to be number 1 just quite yet. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm not ready to crown the Bills. I still think they're a little overhyped.
31-10 Thursday night football versus your previous number 1, and they're still 2.
It was tough. Like I said, my first list I had them 1, but I just could not put Mahomes behind Allen currently with how Mahomes played against another hostile environment. That in the NFC West, the Cardinals and the Rams. There's no Call of Duty. Kyler was supposed to come out and match Mahomes.
Well, it was double XP weekend.
Oh, that's fair. All right. Well,
yeah.
In that case, no, I'm still not moving. But thanks, Alucard. Anyways, number one, the Chiefs just absolutely. I mean, Mahomes not missing a beat. Tyreek. I did hear someone say they won't score as fast with Tyreek. Obviously, that's fine, but I still think they'll be all right. They're still going to score a shit ton of points. The Chiefs own that division, and they're going to prove it tonight. Little preview pick, I guess. But, you can't bet against Mahomes until they shit the bed. So when they do that, they won't be on here, or they won't be number one, Seth. But currently, they had the most impressive game, and they're the Chiefs, dude. They're number one. What do you think? You think the Bills? Argue for the Bills if you think the Bills.
I think the Bills are number one. You roll into the defending Super Bowl champions' house, which people are saying they got better in the offseason. Little age. I don't think they're better. I think they're worse. But they rolled in there, and Josh Allen played a dominant game. Granted, he had 2 picks. One wasn't really on him. But he was very efficient. He basically ran that game the entire time by himself on offense. He was doing what he wanted, bombing the digs, throwing to who he wanted to. The run game was there. And obviously the defense was a good defense. They still got the Cooper Kupp open.
They shut him out.
That's because Matt Stafford only throws to Cooper Kupp, so he's going to get his yards. I think the Bills should be number one on this list.
Wow. I think if you look at the start to finish complete package, I think the Chiefs still played a better game. They were never behind. I don't believe. I mean, yeah. What do you think, Vance? Should the Bills be number one?
The Bills played a more hard-fought game, right? Like, even though they won by quite a bit, it wasn't an easy game for them to win. Obviously, you still have Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, now Bobby Wagner to worry about on that defensive side. Troy Smith, who got pile-drived into the dirt. Jalen Ramsey looked like a piece of burnt toast out there.
He was, perfect quarterback rating against him, I think.
Yeah. But Patrick Mahomes and company shutting out the electric Cardinals, one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL now.
Exactly.
And Kyler Murray with his old college wide receiver with Hollywood out there. Obviously, when they get D-Hop, I think the Cardinals will be a totally different team when D-Hop returns.
That's fair.
James Conner looked good, but it's like, man, Kansas City just looks so dominant, and the playoffs are going to run through Arrowhead Speedway or whatever. It's going to run through Arrowhead. It's going to be insane.
Whoa, what about the Raiders pick? You just pretty much gave up on them, didn't you?
Well, I just said Derek Carr's going to win MVP.
Who in your parlay when you were in Colorado? Who'd you pick to win the AFC?
Chargers.
Oh, okay, that's right. All right.
Oh, that starts right now. That starts tonight.
Yeah, I have the Chargers winning the Super Bowl in my long-term parlay.
Okay.
So that'll pay out just a couple thousand. Where so far I'm looking good. New Orleans winning the division. The Eagles are pretty much locked to win the division now.
Yeah.
And it's between the Chargers and Kansas City to win that division, and all the other ones. I mean, if the fucking Colts can figure out how to not tie, that would be great.
I got one more complaint about this list. I think the Bucs will be off after this week.
Okay. All right.
That team stinks. Okay?
Listen, there's a lot
I watched that game from kickoff to last play. I thought the fucking Cowboys were down by 56 in that fourth quarter. How miserable it was watching them on Sunday Night Football, and they were only down by 2 possessions. Okay. Fair. So the fact that they were held at 19 points and the Bucs got to the red zone 4 times, okay, that says all you need to know about the Cowboys defense, which I sat in here and argued a couple podcasts ago. That was at least a top 5 unit, which I still think it is. God damn it! The Bucs' weaknesses were obviously exposed. They're not going to be able to protect Tom Brady's blind side.
Okay.
Oh goodness!
Hey,
I had a burp.
Listen, if they lose, they're going to be out of here. B-list is reserved for mostly undefeated teams here. You know what I mean?
Winners.
Yeah, winners.
For the winners.
The winners.